Hello, 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 and welcome, world. So excited and thankful to be back with you again. So excited to be back with you all again for another episode. Listen, so the week has been going pretty well. Just did an interview with my pastor here. One that I think you should check out. I think you'd like the interview and the conversation that we had. Hello from Texas. If you're watching back at Texas, so good to see you. I hope that all is well. We're going to have a great time today, a great show for you. I'm excited. I have a young man all the way from South Houston, Texas, who's going to be joining the show here in just a few moments. But I'm so excited and thankful to be on the stream with you here again. What we're doing right now on this platform is we're trying to have conversations that matter. And so I want to do a couple of things. One, like I said, having conversations that matter. Another thing that I'd like to do is offer an objective perspective on a variety of topics. And so we're very I guess you can say we're pretty adamant about making sure that the conversations that we're having here are objective and they're well versed. And so with that thought in mind, I'm very happy to introduce our friend and our special guest today. We have from Houston, from South Houston himself, Mr. Jessie V joining us. How you doing, boss? How you feeling? Good to see you, man. Welcome in, welcome in. Do we have sound on you? Let's get sound on my guy. There he goes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I got you loud and clear, man. How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling pretty good. Hey, I'm from Kansas City, but I'm in Houston, Texas.
Okay, from Kansas City. Okay, now I was wondering why you and your dad were such big Kansas City fans.
Yeah. You're gonna get me beat up when I go home.
No, well, I don't want no problems. I don't want. That's the last thing I want is issues. How are you feeling, man? We've been trying to get this. We've been trying to get this interview done for quite some time. It's good to finally get an opportunity to catch up with you. How have you been doing?
Yes. Man, just grinding and moving for God, man. That's it, man. Trying to take one day at a time. I'm feeling pretty good, bro. I can't complain, man. God has
Grind.
been answering prayers and the blessings has been falling as long as I've been praising.
That's what's up, man. Grinding and moving for God. How old are you, Jesse?
35. I turned 35 in September the 20th.
Oh, that wasn't too long ago. How was that? What'd you do for your birthday?
Well, I was celebrating with my brother that just got out the federal penitentiary for 11
Oh,
years.
wow. Okay.
So that was one of the biggest gifts I got for
I'm
my
sure you
birthday this
guys
month.
enjoyed that for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It
Man.
was amazing, man. I ain't do too much, man. Just was thanking God to be 35 because coming from where I'm from, people don't make it to see 17, 18.
Yeah. Speak a little bit about that. You said you're from Kansas City, and I listened to your music. I thought it was very touching, very moving, and that was literally the opening line of your song. You know, where you're from. You know, people don't make it. A lot of people don't make it where you're from. Speak a little bit about that, the environment that you grew up in, and and kind of how it shaped you into being the man that you are today.
All right. Well, yeah, those of you that don't know, my name is Jessie V. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, not Kansas City, Kansas. No, because everybody think that we're from Kansas because it's Kansas City, but we're from Kansas City, Missouri. But to shine a little light on where I'm from, man, let's start off with the nickname for the town where I'm from is called Killer City.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And the state motto is to show me. You show me. You gotta show me. We from
Okay,
the show me
wait.
state.
You're from that's Missouri. Oh,
Yes.
Missouri's the show me state. Okay, I get it. All right.
Yes. Yeah.
Ah.
So with that being said, we from Killer City and the motto is
And you're
show
gonna
me.
have to show me. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you put it together. But now coming up down there, man, I'm from the inner city where everything happened, man, as you can see. Man, I grew up where there was gang violence, prostitution, drugs, anything you can name that was criminal, that was what was around us. Even though my dad and my mom, they tried to shelter us to keep us from being involved in it, it was there. It
Yeah.
was there.
Did you ever find yourself, becoming a part of, those types of inner city activities when you were coming up? Did you ever find yourself on the wrong side of some of those activities?
Well, yeah, of course, I haven't been saved for too long. I've been saved for about like 9 years.
Oh wow.
And to start my life off, I was in the church. And then as I got older as a teenager, I thought I was grown and I got myself involved into gang violence and drug dealing and stuff like that. I was incarcerated for 3 years
Mm.
for distribution of drugs. And man, yeah, just to say the little short, I lost my eye behind being involved in these things, man. I wasn't born like this.
Oh wow. What happened?
Yeah, I was shot in the face with a 12 gauge at close point range.
Mm.
And we was actually in a shootout, and the involvement that we had in our neighborhood was we was the drug dealers. We wasn't really gang members. I was a drug dealer. I've been incarcerated for it, so I can talk about it. I've been,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, the things that we were involved in caused me to lose my eye.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. So, okay, so you say you're from Kansas City. You grew up in a very treacherous environment, and you were just you've only been saved for 9 years. And as you were telling me that story, which is pretty, we haven't got to the great side yet, but I know how this, I know where you are today, and so I know, kind of, where that journey has brought you to. But I am curious when I hear you speaking, what it means to be saved. I think that's a conversation. I think that's a question that
Wow.
I don't know. I think as Christians or as religious people, I think we just go through the motions, and not in a negative way necessarily, but I know I don't think I've ever been asked that. Well, I know I haven't been asked that in many years, but when I heard you speaking, I heard that question being raised in my spirit. Well, what does it mean to be saved in your opinion, Jesse?
In my opinion, to be saved is to apply the information that has been informed to you.
Okay.
That's what makes you saved. Counseling makes you saved. It's not what you put on. It's
Mm-hmm.
applied counseling.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what you put on. It's not how you present yourself. It's the characteristics of your ability.
Okay. Talk a little bit about this shift then. You started off in Kansas City, Missouri, the show me state. And now you kind of fast forward, and I don't in any way want to cut across the field, but tell me a little bit about the transition and how you came into religious living, and how that was 9 years ago. Tell me that story.
Well, I started off in the church because my dad has been a pastor,
Mm-hmm.
and we was in church Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday, every day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
That was us. But and that kind of got tiring to me, man. That's why I started getting. I'm like, man, all right, this ain't. If
Not
this what you got
exciting.
to do, exactly.
Right.
If this what you got to do to be saved, this ain't me. I can't be at church all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
So I started getting involved into the streets. And then the charge I was telling you about, the incarceration. When I was incarcerated, I was sitting in there and I was reading and reading and reading and reading and reading, trying to get revelations on how to change my mind
Mm-hmm.
on off of the things that I already have been presented to me.
Yeah.
So I kept asking God, how do I change my mind? How do I change my mind? How do I change my mind? So I started to think to myself, and I was in the penitentiary, so I started doing the things that was according to the environment that was around me.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is, it's limited things that you can do in the penitentiary. So I started reading. You can either read, work out, or make creations like out of wood and stuff.
Why do you think
So
that? Why do you think that culture is so glamorized? You
what's
said there are
that?
only a couple of things you can do in prison. You can work out, you can read, or you can put together puzzles. And I don't mean that lightly, but why do you think our culture glamorizes that type of lifestyle so much so that it seems as though it's like you aren't even a real man in certain cultures, in certain corners of the internet, in certain spaces. You're not even a real man until you've been incarcerated. Why do you think that's? Why do you think that is the way that it is?
because of the presentation that's been presented to them. They think a man is supposed to be tough. They think a man is supposed to be in prison because of the televisions, the radios, Minister Society. You seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Boys in the Hood. All of these TV shows, everything that's been presented to us as children. And then
Mm-hmm.
when you go outside and where I'm from, you see the same thing that you see it on
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah.
Even if you got somebody that's in your house trying to tell you don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, but everybody around you is doing it.
What's the answer for kids then, man? Inner city kids. What do you think the solution is? I know we'll talk in a minute about the ministry that you have, the great work that you've been doing, but I mean, what is the answer for an inner city kid that is coming up in this type of environment? Like, how do they get out? What are you suggesting, and what are you finding and seeing when you're doing this type of work?
Don't let your habitat limit your research.
Okay. Yeah.
What I'm saying is, just because you're in poverty or in a situation of the ghetto doesn't mean your mind has to be there.
Yeah.
That's what prison taught me. Think
Yeah.
outside of where you're at.
Yeah.
Because when you've been presented all of these things and everybody around you is telling you, if you ain't cool, if you ain't got no gun, you ain't
Mm-hmm.
cool if you don't sell that. That's how it was for me. I
Yeah.
was just talking to my cousin just the other day. We used to think, tell each other, you soft because you don't want to do that. You soft, bro. You
Yeah.
scared. You scared. You
Yeah.
soft. And that's how it is down there. If you ain't doing wrong, they consider it as you being
Soft.
soft. Yeah.
Tell me this real quick. How difficult is it preaching and ministering to psychologically broken people? And I ask you that question because, as religious thinking people, as Christian people, um, in the society that we live in today, it is, we don't find ourselves in circles commonly where people aren't believers. I try to hang out with people who are believers, or people who have some common knowledge of good and evil and some concept of God and the higher power, right? Even my friends that aren't in church have this idea of good prevails and there's a God above that's watching, right? And so, but that is, I'm sure that pales in comparison to trying to minister to people who are psychologically broken and do not understand the concept of there being a God. So can you speak to that and some of the challenges that you've faced as you were trying to minister to people who have never heard about this religious lifestyle, who have never, came up with a parent or a mother that was in church and who was teaching these religious stories to them? How has that been?
Well, see, me coming like this, look how I look, bro.
Yeah.
I got the same thing they got on. I look just like them. You dig what I'm saying? So that's
Hmm.
how they open up first.
But what
That's
was it
how
for
I.
you? What was it for you? I mean, like, what was it for you that was it the fact that you were in prison? And I don't, I don't mean,
No,
yeah.
it
Because,
was it was it was the fact that I was tired.
hmm.
I've been to prison 3 times. The last time I did a long look 3 years.
Mm,
The first time it was 8 months. The second time it was like 9.5 months. The third time I had to sit down. I was
mm,
tired.
yeah.
And then not only that, I had some people that cared that was presenting me something different than what was there in my face. My
Mm,
mom, my dad,
yeah.
they was there presenting some things that meant morally to me.
Yeah. 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 That's good. That's good to know, man. That's good to know. So tell me a little bit more about your father's example. I know that has had a major impact, and then we'll talk about the fact that you're married, and so. But tell me a little bit first, excuse me, about your relationship with your father and the example that he set and the impact that example had on you.
Right. Man, at first me and my dad didn't even agree, man. We used to
Mm-hmm.
go neck and neck. Cause when I wasn't saved, cause I wasn't agreeing with how he was teaching, you know what I'm saying? Cause I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be street.
Yeah.
But after I was incarcerated and I started reading and applying the counseling that was given to me, I started to see what he was saying. It was just to protect us.
Yeah.
Everything that when you say you're saved, you just have the protection from death.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all you get is protection from death. That's all saved is.
Mm-hmm.
But the example that my dad said, he's a man that is an example for his whole family. His whole family looks up to him.
Mm-hmm.
First it was his dad, now it's him. His dad is passed, and he's a leader for his whole family. He was the first out of his siblings to really step into the church
Yeah.
and do his thing. You know what I'm saying? But his example that he set was amazing.
Yeah.
But
That's
my
good.
dad come from the streets too, man.
Yeah.
My dad was a PCP head. My dad was they used to call him Ray Dog. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Mm-hmm.
and before he got saved, he was in the streets too. I'm saying that it didn't start with being saved.
Mm-hmm.
God can change you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He can change you. He
Yeah.
don't change, and it's about the inner. It
Yeah.
ain't what you put on.
Yeah.
It's the inner. Even though people might not look at you and see that you saved,
Mm-hmm.
it's still within. They
Why should
can't take that
someone?
from you.
Let me ask you this, Jesse. Why should someone be a Christian? Like, why should someone make that decision to to be a part of the religious community? And I'm asking that with the frame of thought that the religious community has a lot of negative stereotypes that are associated with them. Hypocrisy being one of them. You know, people being judgmental, right? You know, a lot of people from outside of religious, living, they believe that in order to be a part of religious communities, it just simply means you have to sacrifice more of the creature comforts. Tell me why, in your honest opinion, your sincere opinion, why should someone want to be a part of the church today?
To get a better insight on what's going on with life today.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember you was asking me about politics and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
That the reason I really look over that
Mm-hmm.
is because the meaning of this is God.
Yeah,
Every politician or everything that's going on has a religious aspect behind it.
for sure.
So I look deeper into the situation or
Mm-hmm.
what's behind it than what is on the surface. So I would say that the reason you should join what I believe in
Mm-hmm.
is to get deeper insight, a better life, a better feeling.
Yeah,
See, when you have no instruction on how to live, you be running and trying to figure it out. But if you have no way to, I don't really kind of know how to explain it.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. Like I said, being a part of the religious community, it is definitely, most certainly, a feeling um, that is in some ways indescribable. What I would say though, if I could assist you in why you should do it, it's just the main thing would be the community. And then like I would say, um, I would say the support that you can get from the community would be great. Um, and constant contact with the higher power that will provide peace if you truly keep your mind and your heart, you know, stayed on God and on Christ. I think that frame of mind provides a level of peace that is applicable to all circumstances in life. I think those would kind of be my top reasons: the community, the communication with God, and the peace that you feel when you are aligned with the higher power, the power that is in control of all things. Let me ask you this, because I know you're a rapper, you're a musician. I also know that you've been married. How was it being married, man? How long have you been married? Tell me about your wife. How was married life as a young musician? How does that work?
Man, oh, it's beautiful because she's a musician as well. I've
Okay.
been married for 6 years now.
Oh man, awesome,
6
awesome.
years, man, and my queen is amazing, man. She supports everything, man. I can't. We don't even argue, bro.
Wow,
It's for 6 years.
that's
You
hard
know
to
what I'm saying?
believe. You guys don't argue about anything.
Nah, it's a way when you get an understanding of each other. We was friends for 10 years before we became marriage.
Okay.
So we've been together for about 16 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so we had
Okay.
when and we wasn't saved when we first got together, so we done everything before we got
Mm,
saved. You know what I'm saying? Doing our wild stuff, and we had an agreement. You know what I'm saying? When you agree and you really love, you cherish that agreement.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's real talk. You can't say you love somebody and don't show the meaning of love. And when you love somebody, you look over the flaws, you patient,
Yeah.
and all that. All this is it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it
Talk for a
comes to
minute.
that,
Go
go
ahead. I'm
ahead.
sorry. No, you're good.
No, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
But I was just kind of asking a follow up question and kind of asking for more detail about that because in today's society the family structure is not encouraged. It is not
Mm.
it is not propagated like other things are. It is not constantly beat into our minds, into our frame of thought, like other things. For example, whatever you list, all the other
Bro,
worldly
check this
things.
out.
Yeah.
Not to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I got guys that's from penitentiary
Mm-hmm.
that's older than me that look up to me. I'm
Mm-hmm.
an OG to OG people.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, and then if you my friend and you got children and you don't take care of them, we defriend you.
Mm-hmm.
That's real. If you don't take care of your child, how you gonna be my friend and take care of me?
Right. Right.
That's real talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's real talk.
So my question was though, and I definitely agree with you 100% on that. My question is, well, I'm asking you, if you will, to speak a little bit more about the importance of family and the support that you've gotten, because it doesn't seem as though young men in particular are trying to pursue those long lasting relationships. But as two men that are on the inside of those types of relationships, we understand not only the beauty in it, but it's really in many ways God's design for the family to be intact and together. So speak a little bit about that and some of the things that you've gotten from your family nucleus being together.
Man, the importance of a family is to have that support. That background of a woman is very important. Because men ain't gonna be emotional and sensitive to their friend. I'm talking about to their partner, their homeboy.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to their significant other, she knows how when he about to be hurting and this, that, the other. What I'm saying is, these things are important because it builds a man.
Mm-hmm.
It builds them when they can go somewhere and vent, when they can go somewhere and take the time to be embraced
Mm-hmm.
instead of have to put on a persona all day long, and they can let that persona go and be right in that comfort zone. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
man is uncomfortable right now.
Yeah.
Man is uncomfortable. That's why a man think it's if I take another man's life, that makes me a man.
Mm-hmm.
If I sell drugs to my brother, that makes me a man. That's why, because we are uncomfortable. We don't know ourselves, but if we take the time to see the importance of having a relationship with a woman, one woman, and taking that time to build
Yeah.
each other, you building her and she's building you. Every day I tell my wife this, you
Why should
building
a
me.
man why should a man be with one woman? Why why
Because it can take time, the time that it takes to build with each other, with relationships with people,
mm-hmm.
you can throw your time off that to have with one person.
Yeah.
So if it takes a lot of time to build humanity, the
Yeah.
brain of a human.
Yeah.
So that's why I say one.
Yeah.
Because if you continue to do this one, 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 now you got to take the time out to go over here, go over here, go over
Yeah.
here, go over here, go over here. When all
Yeah.
that time could be built in this one person.
Yeah. Yeah. I say it I liken it to just spreading yourself too thin. Just spreading yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what it is. You're spreading yourself too thin, and man, it takes you a long time before you tire yourself out. And my thing is to never be
Women
judged.
expensive.
Well, yeah, man. Hell, tell me about it. Well, and my thing is to never be judgmental for people that are still kind of doing that type of stuff. But at the same time, it is good to kind of, I'd say I'm on the other side. Yeah, no, I'm confident in the idea that I'm on the other side of my lustful, not being able to control my lustful nature. And so with that thought in mind, I can say with sincerity that man, the family structure, it's where it's at. I mean I can, you know I can say that with 100% sincerity. The family
Hmm.
structure, the one woman structure, um, it's where it's at. Uh, and I just encourage more people to get into it and to have a family because, in many ways, it kind of creates a real motivation for men to excel in their respective lives. Let's talk a little bit about the adoption of four cousins. You adopted four of your cousins. Tell me a little bit
Yeah.
about that, man, and how that's impacted your life, man. That's pretty awesome. Tell me about that.
Well, I'm learning. I never. I don't have any biological children.
Okay.
So these children, and they came all at once. It was a baby, a 4 year old, 8 year old, and a 10 year old.
Hmm.
And man, it's amazing though. You know, I'm pouring a lot into them about life experiences that I've been through,
Mm-hmm.
and trying to give them the realistics of life. Period. I don't want to hide nothing. The way I raised them is with love
Mm-hmm.
and cautiousness.
Yeah.
But it's amazing, bro. It's amazing. They're teaching me how to become more caring and more selfless.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. That's beautiful. Yeah. I mean, the benefit. Oh man, I could talk about this at great length, especially having a 2 year old. It's like the benefits of having a children and being able to pour into them is it's in many ways it gives you the opportunity to serve in such a capacity that it does not allow you to focus on your own issues or problems or things of that nature.
yeah,
Yeah, being able to serve in that way really just provides you an opportunity to uh, put someone else first, and it really shrinks your issues down. Yeah. So anyway, that's great, man. I'm happy that you did that. How long have you had your cousins? When did you adopt them?
3 years ago. 3 years
Oh,
ago.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, and they man, and these children are so amazing and bright, bro.
Yeah.
Man, they also do gospel music as well,
Oh wow.
and they are very equipped with this word. You know, I'm very highly up on that. That's one thing, man. But it's amazing to see a 3 year old running around here saying the Ten Commandments and the
Oh
Lord's
wow.
Prayer. You know what
That's
I'm
what's
saying?
up. That's what's up.
I'll be
So
watching them and I'll be like, "What? It's
yeah, that's
grown
what's up.
people that don't know
Yeah,
that."
that's what's up. That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about your music, who your musical inspirations are, where people can find your music, and what are some of the projects that you're working on currently.
Well, right now I'm working on a project called Real Fake. Fake love, real hate.
Hmm.
Fake love, real hate. And I just dropped a project called Neighborhood Message. But my inspirational comes from this guy named Bizzle. He
Okay.
does positive music as well, and I listen to a lot of Lecrae and Nipsey Hussle.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. I like Nipsey Hussle. He has a lot
Yeah.
of positive music, and he's very influential
Mm-hmm.
from my neighborhood because we same color
Mm-hmm.
background. But nah, Michael Jackson.
Okay.
I like Janet Jackson.
Okay. Who don't like
Uh,
Janet? But okay. We
I
all
used to
like
have a
Janet.
crush on Janet.
Well, that makes two of us. No, man. No, man. No, man. I don't know. Janet's obviously beautiful, but she was never. I don't know. Around that age, I think I liked. Who did I like when I was out? I don't know. I don't know, man. But yeah, okay. So Mike, the Jacksons are obviously are always musical inspirations. What would you say, in like, in a nutshell? What would you say your message is, and who is your audience? What is your message, and who is your audience?
My message is that it don't matter where you from
Mm-hmm.
or how you look, you can have God in your soul.
That's what's up.
And
That's
my
what's up.
audience is the ghetto,
Yeah.
the hood where they got poverty, because it ain't too many people trying to speak to them people.
Yeah.
You can't take Yolanda Adams down there and talking about we gonna have a concert and think you're
Yeah.
gonna have the hood boys come out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know
That's
what I'm
what's up.
saying? I'm just being honest, you know. So that's who I'm targeting. I'm targeting people like I was, penitentiary backgrounds and stuff like. That's
Yeah.
why the music sounds so rough, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure, for sure. Have you felt like you've been making impact? Do you feel like you're making a positive impact with what you're doing?
What I feel like I can do better.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be more impacted off of what I'm doing,
Okay.
but it's all because of I'm being lazy.
Okay.
I'm just being honest. I'm being lazy. I
Yeah.
could be way further than what I am, but I
Okay.
just haven't been taking the
Okay.
steps. But yes, it's impacted a few people. You know what I'm saying? My
Mm-hmm.
hometown. Me and my wife was really the one that put the gospel hip hop into the tune down there.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
what's up, man. I definitely wish you the best. We'll continue to watch your music and follow what you're doing. I'm out here in Detroit, man. So if you ever end up out here in the city, man, or if you ever want to come out and visit, most certainly I'd love to have you at the church. I don't think they've heard any Christian rap before, but
Oh.
I'm sure we can figure something out to get him in there. How's your dad doing, man? You got to tell him I said hello. I know he's been in good spirits because the Kansas City Chiefs have been doing good for a couple of years now. Now when I was still back in Texas, this was before Patrick Mahomes was actually really winning the big games, and so I know that he's been really good. And your mom, I hope that all is well with them. I'm gonna give you the last word, man, in 15 seconds. If you have a message, if you have a word, an encouraging word, imagine for a moment that your intended audience is listening to this actual podcast at the moment. What is it that the Lord has placed on your heart that you would like to share with those individuals?
What I want to share is continue to continue.
Hmm.
Even though the thing may seem rocky, may seem rough, may seem like that rock is not going to turn over,
Yeah.
but remember, continue to continue.
Hmm.
The seed don't stop growing,
Yeah.
even when it turns into a tree.
Yeah.
As long as it's getting water,
Yeah.
it's going to grow. So go
Yeah.
where you can get water, where you can shake all those things, that dirt up off you,
Keep
and
going.
continue to continue. Keep
Yeah.
going. That's
Yeah.
my message.
Man, that's what's up. Keep going. Don't stop. To God be the
Hey
glory.
man, I'm gonna call you, bro. I want to line that up. I'm gonna see what's up with Detroit, man.
Oh man, please, yeah, come out more for sure, for sure. I'd love to have you out here, man. It's a great city. I live right downtown, and so we'll be in the middle of everything. Man, God bless you, man. We'll be talking soon. We'll be in touch again. I love your perspective, and I definitely will need you to come on. And talk about a number of different things. You know, the football season is in full
All
swing.
right.
I'm not sure how much you're into sports, but I'd love to hear your perspective on that. And I don't know if you're watching the podcast on a regular basis, but we're always talking about politics. So if something ever comes up that piques your interest, please reach out. I'd love to hear your perspective on it. If there's
Yeah.
nothing else, man, we'll be talking again soon. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us this evening. This has been another great episode of TCBS with special guest Jessie V. We're going. So one more time, what platforms are your music streaming on, Jesse?
They on everything. All you gotta
Okay.
do is go on Google, type in Jessie V. You see that like that right
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
Type that in. All my music will come
Bam.
up.
Okay.
There it
Well,
is.
man, we to God be the glory. We are thankful for you again, my man. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good one, okay, boss?
God bless. Love you, bro.
All right, man. Be easy.